if you've made it here, then you finished the other lessons in this unit, and you're looking for an overview of the lab, I'm sure. All right, so what are we going to do in this one? So this one we have a couple mini parts here, and our goal is primarily really to learn about some of these interesting date and time pickers here, and get some more practice on some of the other ones by adding dialogues to an existing game of Blackjack. All right, so again, you're probably just gonna want to see things running just to get a feel for what's going on. So here's our hello pickers, right? So we can pick a time, and if we click this guy, it's going to bring up a little sort of standard time picker that's going to load up with the current time. All right, so I could roll things back here. So maybe I don't know, 7:33. Roll things forward, 7:33 p.m. Right. Let's go ahead and click done, and it says right here I actually chose to display it in military time, saying it's 1933. That's what I get for spending a year in Zambia, where they use 24-hour time. So good stuff, and it was even time for tea, right? So again, very British, very Zambian. Good stuff. So I can pick the date here as well. So again, I can pick any sort of date. Why not here? So June 22nd. Whoops. Going forward just a couple days in advance here. My anniversary, 18th anniversary. So lots of good stuff here. So we can click done, and it will say the day is June 22nd, 2014. Do you know who was born that day? Anniversary, birth, I don't know. I guess I get confused here. All right, good stuff. So that's our first part of the lab. Second part, let me bring this guy up here, is going to be Blackjack, and this is a game of Blackjack here, so it kind of nicely laid out. We get a few different options, right? So the first one is so given this 9 and 3, right? Oh, I want to cheat, and if I cheat, it's going to bring up this whole little table here of whether I should hit or whether I should stay, and so on. So giving me exactly what my options should be, scrollable and so on, since it doesn't fit on my tiny little screen. What if I just want to make my move, right? So a 9 and a 3. Let's click that guy. I believe I should hit there. So let's go ahead and do that. And yes, absolutely, right? So I already ran this on one of them. So now I'm up to 2 out of 2 correct, right? I guess I'm a master Blackjack player. Not so much, but that's okay. I also have an option if I want to skip this one. I don't know what to do with king and 4, so I want to skip it. Yep, go ahead, bring me another one. Oh, queen and queen. I should know what to do with that, and so on. So that's the idea. Not so much to teach you how to play Blackjack, but just to add some dialogues for this guy. So let's summarize. All right, so by the time you are done this whole unit, right, we're going to learn a lot of stuff about dialogues, right? Dialogues, really nice for Windows that are short-lived and require some sort of immediate user input, right, before they go any further. Right? So you've learned about alert dialogues, custom dialogues, the different pickers, so on, right? So lots of different options here. I will point you back to the developer guide for more information. There's an interesting discussion there about what would happen if you have a really small screen where you want the dialogue to pretty much take up the whole screen, whereas on a very large screen, maybe like a large tablet or even a TV, you might just want even a whole activity to show up kind of like a dialogue. So this sort of duality between activities and dialogues and how you navigate your way between those. Right. Interesting stuff there. One other thing, I guess, in closing is to mention that the way that we have done dialogues is used fragments, and fragments have only been around since Honeycomb, which has been a while now. But if you really wanted true backwards compatibility to Android 2, to the earlier versions, then to use fragments, you're going to have to use the support fragment manager. So it's not within the scope of what we're doing right now to teach you all about that, but you'll probably notice the imports here that we have some that are refer back to earlier versions, right? Our actual class here, instead of extending activity, is going to extend fragment activity, and then there's going to be some slightly different method names. So for example, when you want the fragment manager, instead of just saying get fragment manager, it's going to be get support fragment manager, and there's a few things like that. But just wanted to give you a warning. It's a little bit more work to make your code truly backward compatible. All right, hope you enjoyed this unit on dialogues. Fairly short one, but I hope it'll be useful to you in your work. All right, have a great day.